Somewhere between the smell of fries, the clatter of quarters, and a $3 Happy Meal box plastered with Toy Story or Lion King toys, fast food in the 1990s was not just about eating. It was an entire world to escape into. Back then, playplaces became indoor playgrounds. Birthday parties cost under $20, and the drive-thru was pure chaos, cash only, static-filled speakers, and all. But what really made it different? And why does today's fast food feel so much less electric? To find out, we're going straight back to the era when collecting Happy Meal toys was a week-long mission, and hanging out by the arcade cabinet meant you were exactly where you belonged. Every kid in the 90s knew the real prize wasn't just the burger and fries, it was the toy inside the Happy Meal box. For about $3 or $4, you could walk away with a miniature Simba, a plastic Buzz Lightyear, or a Batman Forever car, all part of an ever-changing lineup tied to the biggest movies of the year. McDonald's seemed to have a new set every month, with 6 or 8 toys in each series. That meant convincing your parents to swing by again and again, hoping to get the one you didn't have yet. Some kids managed to collect the whole run. Others got stuck with 3 Pumbas and no Timon. At school, the cafeteria became a trading floor, with rare pieces swapped like gold. Boxes weren't just packaging, they came covered in games and puzzles, turning lunchtime into a full-on event. Even today, collectors hunt for those 1994 Lion King figures or the full Toy Story crew, sometimes paying big money for the ones that survived. For a few dollars, Happy Meals delivered more than food. They fueled a weekly treasure hunt. Indoor play places were the beating heart of 90s fast food, where the rules of adulthood just did not apply. Gone were the metal jungle gyms baking in the sun. By the early 90s, McDonald's and its rivals had moved the action indoors, building sprawling ball pits, twisting slides, and padded climbing towers that seemed to stretch on forever. For parents, it meant a rare break. The grown-ups could linger over coffee while kids disappeared into a world of plastic tunnels, only emerging when someone got hungry or needed a Band-Aid. Safety signs were minimal, supervision was loose, and nobody blinked if a sock went missing in the ball pit. Birthday parties became a rite of passage. For $19.99, a whole crew, 10 or even 15 kids, could celebrate with burgers, fries, a sheet cake, and endless playtime. A former playplace manager remembers that they basically handed out party hats, scooped the ice cream, and hoped nobody got stuck in the tubes. The cost was so low that some families booked 2 parties a year. These were not just cheap afternoons, they were loyalty factories. After all, once you had your name sung over a plastic microphone and blown out candles next to the ball pit, McDonald's was not just a restaurant, it was home turf, and the playground was yours. Quarters rattled in pockets like a secret currency, because every real 1990s kid knew fast food wasn't just about burgers, it was about the arcade tucked in the corner. Pizza Hut's red roofs glowed outside, and inside the real action happened around arcade cabinets running Street Fighter II and Mortal Kombat. You would wolf down a slice, then line up to play, the air thick with the smell of pepperoni and fryer oil, layered over the constant beeping and button mashing. Some places even had racing games, so you could go head-to-head with your friends while your parents lingered over a refill. The ritual was simple: drop in a quarter, mash the buttons, lose, repeat. According to one ex-arcade technician, a single machine could pull in up to $300 a week, split 50-50 with the route operator, which meant the games weren't just for fun, they kept the registers ringing. Even as home consoles started to catch up, there was something about standing shoulder to shoulder, pockets full of change, that made these spots the place to be after dark. Friday nights in the 1990s meant drive-thru lines that stretched around the block. Headlights snaking past glowing menu boards plastered with everything from Big Macs to Egg McMuffins and the latest McNugget sauce experiment. Ordering wasn't a smooth process. Static blared from the speaker, so parents and teens had to lean out the window and shout their orders, hoping the person inside could make sense of it. The menu kept growing, with new breakfast sandwiches, chicken wraps, and even salads starting to appear, and you had to squint to find your favorite among the clutter. It was easy to get the wrong order, but nobody really minded. Most people paid with crumpled bills and a handful of change, though by the late 1990s, debit cards started showing up, usually with a warning that the card reader might not work. For a lot of teens, the drive-thru was the main event, circling the lot, windows down, music blasting, sometimes just to see who else was out. Chaos and fun were part of the experience, and everyone knew that a meal eaten in the car, fries balanced on the dashboard, tasted just a little better. Taco Bell in the 90s was on a mission to win over every hungry teenager with a pocket full of change. The menu read like a dare: tacos, burritos, and even the mysterious chilito, all for 59, 79, or 99 cents. A couple of bucks could score a full meal, and if you were really feeling rich, maybe throw in a cinnamon twist for dessert. This was not just about cheap eats. Taco Bell's ads were everywhere, starring a small, bug-eyed chihuahua who became a pop culture icon almost overnight. Between 1997 and 2000, the phrase "Yo quiero Taco Bell" echoed from TV screens and lunch tables alike. One franchise owner put it bluntly, "We wanted to be the place teens chose after school because they could actually afford to eat here." The value menu was bold, the branding was cheeky, and the whole vibe was about fun, not fuss. While McDonald's built kingdoms for kids, Taco Bell went straight for the after-school crowd, serving up late-night tacos and a sense of freedom you could taste. In the early 90s, grabbing a burger meant stepping into a haze of cigarette smoke. Ashtrays sat on every table, and the smell of fries mixed with Marlboros was just part of the deal. Some places tried to split the difference with a smoking section, usually just a row of booths by the window, separated by a flimsy sign that fooled no one. By the middle of the decade, the push for cleaner air picked up speed. State after state passed new laws, and fast food chains finally gave in. By 1999, indoor smoking was mostly gone. Suddenly, the air felt lighter. The only thing you smelled was hot grease and ketchup, not stale smoke. Parents breathe easier, literally. One mom remembers, "It was the first time I could take my kids out without worrying about them coming home smelling like an ashtray." For workers and families, the change was instant. No more wiping down yellowed walls or dodging the cloud from the next booth over. Fast food started to feel fresher, and the old smoky haze became just another memory from a different era. Fast food in the 1990s was not just about fun and games, it was also the start of a quiet health makeover, whether anyone wanted it or not. In 1990, McDonald's decided to swap beef tallow for vegetable oil in their fries. The idea was to cut cholesterol, but for a lot of regulars, the flavor was not the same. Letters poured in from customers who missed the old taste, with some insisting the fries had lost their magic. Even without calorie counts on the menu, people were starting to pay attention to nutrition. Salad bars, once a brief fad, began to disappear, and the industry searched for new ways to look healthier without scaring off comfort food fans. By the late 1990s, grilled chicken sandwiches started appearing at McDonald's and other big chains, promising a lighter option for anyone feeling guilty about that extra order of fries. The messaging shifted, ads talked about lighter choices and freshness, but for most people, fast food was still about greasy satisfaction, not counting calories. The changes were subtle, but the taste of the 1990s was already starting to shift. Some loyalties never faded, no matter how many dollar menus or new sauces hit the scene. In the 1990s, certain fast food spots felt less like brands and more like hometown heroes. In California, In-N-Out fans would drive hours just to get their hands on a double-double, fresh off the secret menu, with animal-style fries as a rite of passage. Across the Midwest, late-night White Castle runs were a badge of honor. Tiny sliders by the sack, eaten in parking lots or crammed into car cup holders. Down south, Bojangles kept early birds happy with golden chicken biscuits. While in Texas, Whataburger regulars swore by custom orders built just the way they liked, day or night. Even before social media, word spread through road trip stories and early internet forums, with fans swapping tales of their first In-N-Out pilgrimage or the time they finally tried a Whataburger. As one message board post from 1998 put it, "You haven't lived until you've had a fresh double-double after a day on the road." These places weren't just restaurants, they were proof that fast food could be a point of pride, a taste of home, and a reason to hit the highway. Fast food today runs on calorie counts and mobile apps, but no touchscreen will ever replace the sticky joy of the playplace or the chase for a complete Lion King toy set. Some flavors and memories just don't fit in a value menu. What was your favorite 90s fast food memory? Drop it into the comments and subscribe for more weekly 90s nostalgia.